Aging Librarian for Nevada 2024, and it is a pleasure to have you this morning. So welcome to today's Nevada Emerging Librarian webinar, themed book clubs for municipal libraries, building sustainable community through thriving book clubs. And we just want to apologize earlier on. There was a reminder that we are starting at 10 o'clock, whereas in fact we are starting at 11 o'clock as the invite had said. So this session is proudly brought to you by Nevada, as I've said, in partnership with LIASA, and we're delighted to have you explore how book clubs and municipal libraries can serve as a powerful tool for community building and promoting reading and supporting sustainable development. Today's session will be recorded and made available on the LIASA YouTube channel, so feel free to revisit the insights shared on or pass them along to your colleagues who couldn't join us today. So you can check that on LIASA News on YouTube. We are honored to have two incredible speakers, someone that I've followed her work on socials for so long, Usindeka Mandoyi, a founder of Coast Coast Children's Book Club, who will speak on cultivating a reading culture amongst young children. We'll also have Mr. Lisiba Simon Mojapilu, our Nevada Emerging Librarian for 2023, who will share practical strategies and reflect on running impactful book clubs in public libraries. So please note that we'll be taking questions at the end of both presentations. So jot down your thoughts and your questions and feel free to share them in the chat box as we move along. Okay, so we are now going to be starting with today's webinar. Now, to kick off this journey of building vibrant, book-loving communities, we are delighted to introduce our first speaker, someone who just doesn't talk about cultivating the love of reading. She lives it, she breathes it, and she has turned it into a movement. Usindeka Mangoyi is a founder and a coordinator of Coast Coast Children's Book Club based in Philippi in Cape Town, formerly established in 2023. Driven by a passion for fostering literacy and love for literature, she has dedicated herself to nurturing young readers and creating an engaging platform for children's books. Professionally, Sindeka is a digital content producer at Glamour Magazine, where she specializes in African and international editorial content that spans music, fashion, and literature. A self-proclaimed literacy activist, she actively advocates for promoting of reading and writing, especially within underrepresented communities, and her work seamlessly blends her creative vision with her commitment to cultural and literacy empowerment. Ladies and gentlemen, can we please give virtual a round of applause to Usindeka Mangoyi. Usindeka, you can take the stage, and thank you very much for honoring this invite.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for that introduction. Oh, wow. I can't believe that's all of me. Let me see if we can. I'm trying to open the video. So, hi, can you all see me? Okay, cool.
Okay, I'm going to try and find you.
See you.
Yeah.
You can't see me.
We can see you.
Yes.
Can you see me?
On my side, I can see. It's still showing on my, yes. I can't see anything at the moment.
Nothing still? Okay, there's a few people who say they can see me.
Yes, I can see you now.
Okay, we can, can I start?
Yes, you can start.
Okay, awesome. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for honoring me. I feel blessed to be part of this webinar, and I'll just be talking about the book club, how it started, and how it has impacted my life and a lot of children in Philippi, and why I started it there. And I did, since I'm a journalist, I did the 5 W's and the 1 H so that I can get into the presentation. So firstly, it's the what. So what is Coast Coast Book Club? So Coast Coast Book Club is a passion project. I started it in 2019, but it was not formal then. It was just before COVID, because I remember my niece, he would come to the house with his friends and they would just chill, and I would just take a book and be like, oh, come guys, let me just read for you. And even prior to that, I've always known I want to do something, especially in the reading field and literacy, because growing up I never had books, and I always wanted to break that cycle. So that's how it started with my niece, reading for her. And then from there I was like, I had this burning thing, like, you know, when you have an itch, you can't do anything but scratch it. I was like, I really need to do this. And then I found a little shelter, Iwoki, somewhere close to my house. And the lady was generous enough to say, no, if you want to help kids and do something that is good for the community, you can just stay here. You don't have to pay rent. You don't have to do anything. And that was incredible. That was 2019. And then we were there. And then COVID happened. And then I was forced to stop and just be at home. And then after COVID came 2023. And then that's when I officially welcomed the kids, and then the book club started. So where, as I said, it's in Philippi. Philippi is a township in Cape Town, one of the most dangerous townships I've ever lived in. And there's a lot of broken families. And most of the children who attend my book club are very close to where I stay. So more than just children who go to school, I also know them personally. I know their families, I know their situation and everything like that. So the book club is more than about reading, trying to ignite a love of reading. It's also about trying to for them not to see Philippi as what it is, to look ahead and dream bigger than where they are. So that's where it is. It's in Philippi. And who I wanted to talk about the learners. So who I focus on foundation phase. We have foundation phase, and then we have intermediate phase. Our foundation phase is grade 1 to grade 3, and then our intermediate phase is grade 4 to grade 7. So my most focus is on grade 1 to grade 3, because we have a literacy crisis in South Africa where we have grade 4 learners who cannot read for meaning. So I focus mostly on them, even though I also have these ones. If one of the children from the intermediate phase, I see they struggle a little bit, I always try to try and get them to the foundation phase, but not make it so obvious for the other kids, because kids are like, oh, why is he going to there instead of being with us because they are older or whatever. So my focus is on those children. And then why did I do the book club? One, we have a literacy crisis in South Africa. The first report came in 2016, and when it came back again about 2021, the numbers went down. So that's one. And two, because of my personal story, I went to a township school. I never had books, as I mentioned earlier. My mom was I always call her like a single married woman, and she had 4 children, and she did what she could do with what she had. I don't blame her. And my love for reading began with magazines. For some reason, even though there were no books, there were always magazines around the house. I don't know how or where we got them, but there were magazines. I think that's one of the reasons I ended up working for a magazine. And where was I? Oh, on why? Okay, so also broken families, as I mentioned before, that's also my why. There's a lot of broken families in Philippi. And another reason, children don't own books. That's another reason I started, also to ignite a love of reading, and also to create a safe space. Because Philippi, especially the side that I stay in or used to stay in, there was nothing for children. There was no art club. There was no singing, dancing, and all sort of those things, like where children can come together during a week or weekend or something like that. And in my mind, when I started the book club, I wanted to sort of also include those sort of things, but it's so hard. It's so hard because I've been doing this alone. I recently got somebody to assist me now. Those are some of the things I wanted to include, and those are some of the things I still want to include in the future, even if it doesn't happen now. It's part of the things that I want to happen for the book club. And yeah, just to create a space where children feel safe, where we build a community and have something that doesn't just end with reading, because reading is outside, reading is everywhere, reading is anything. Words are everywhere. People who are in, because another thing I've noticed, children do not understand how many careers are out there, right? Because I'm in the media space. In the media space, there's a lot of things. We have copywriters, we have editors, we have a lot of things, and those people work with words. So I'm trying to open their mind to see how broad your career path can go. So yeah, we have that. And then how am I doing this? So one, I'm self-funded. I do this because I want to do it. And also I have partnerships with certain organizations based here in Cape Town. We have Book Dash. I've been working with Book Dash since last year, and they have been helping us with books, and we have been able to distribute books not only for the book club but for the whole community of Philippines, which is one of the most beautiful thing I've seen. Because remember, the book club is only for grade 1 to grade 3, grade 1 to grade 7. So I remember last year when we distributed the books, we gave them to children from 0 to 5 years old. And then the following week after we distributed the books, I came to a book club with toddlers. And then it was so fun. It was such a beautiful sight to see, because I'm like, why are you here? I gave you the book so you can read it home. But when you're old enough, then you attend the book club. And that really inspired me, because it showed that children want to learn, children want to come, children want to be part of a community. Yeah, we have Book Dash, we have Unalibali. Nalibali was one of the first organization to assist me. When I started the book club, I had nothing, and I registered through them, and then they were able to send me a pack of like a starter pack with different books in English and isiXhosa, because the children speak Xhosa language. It's mostly children who speak isiXhosa, but we have books both in English and isiXhosa. And yeah, those are some of the organizations that help us. So what do I really do at the book club? So we focus on spelling. Spelling is like a big part of it, both in English and isiXhosa, because mother tongue is very, very crucial in teaching, because it always opens up for the children to grasp other languages. So if you, especially on the foundation phase, if you focus on their language first and then introduce another language, it makes it so much easy, because they already have something in their brain. So we do spelling, we do paired reading, we also play games, and we're also very practical. For example, we recently read a book called Yeke Wanda by Usisi Filwe. I think, okay, I may be wrong. So the book, okay, there's somebody's disturbing me. Sorry, guys.
Can you please switch off our mics? I'm sorry about that. So, colleagues, if you're joining us, we have started. Sandeka is sharing her story. Can I request that we all switch our mics so that we don't disturb our speaker? And thank you very much. Or you can continue, Sandeka.
Okay. So I was talking about the practicality of for the children to actually be doing something. So we have the book, it's titled Yeke Wanda. So in this book, there's a Utritoti, I don't know, it's a game that I grew up playing. It's called Utritoti. And then after we read the book, I was like, okay, come, let's go outside and play this book that we just read about, which is something that's practical. It makes children to enjoy reading and just have fun, because more than anything, we want the children to have fun. Learning while you're having fun is one of the best things for me. I'm not sure for other people, because I became a child myself. So we also do have excursions, but it's a struggle getting the excursions, because as I mentioned, we have children who come from different backgrounds, broken families and things like that. So for excursions, what I usually do, I create a donation papers for the children to go house to house, but I always make sure I go with them, because there's a lot of bad things happening in the world. So I always make sure I am there, I'm present when we go door to door asking for donations. And sometimes we do get generous people that send us money, like, which is always help. It helps so much. So we've been to a museum. Sometimes we get people who just say, come, we'll cover the transport cost. We will cover your fee to get inside. Just come, just bring the children. And we do that. And then the kids just have fun, so much fun. Because for them, I see, oh, I'm going to get emotional. Sorry. Where's my water?
Okay, we understand. We
I'm
understand.
sorry. Oh, sorry. I see a lot of things that I wish had happened for me growing up, and they didn't happen. So I tried my utmost best to get those things done for them, and it's a journey. It is a journey because it's a lot. Dealing with children requires a lot of patience, but when you're passionate about it, when you want to see it, you think beyond a moment of when I had like children a lot. Like you think beyond, you see the future of what you want the child to be. Like for them it's just, sometimes they just come to the book club and I'm like, did you read, guys? Did you read the books I gave you? Because I always give them books. And sometimes they're like, no, we didn't read. And I'm like, guys, I am trying to help you. I am trying to get things. Oh, sorry, I don't know what's happening on my phone. Okay, cool. And I always try to see beyond the moment of me being frustrated, because I'm human. I get frustrated. I'm like, guys, you need to do this. I said we must do this, we must do that. And yeah, I just have to see. I have to see the bigger picture that I have in mind for the book club. And one of my dreams is just to have the book club everywhere in South Africa. Like if I get all of that strength, like at some point I'll just want to see the book club everywhere, just happening everywhere. Children reading, children with books, because we are struggling to get people to see how important it is for children to learn how to read. Like if a child cannot read, what is our future? What is the future of our country? So things like that really get me to like really be in my feelings. And yeah, I think that's about it from my side. And thank you so much, guys, for inviting me here. It really means a lot. And it also means like what we do at Kosi Book Club can be seen, and people can know that there is something. There are people who are actually trying to do something and build a reading nation. And it's not, it doesn't just end on social media saying, hey, children in South Africa can't read. We are trying our best to make sure that the future of our country does not just die, or like it ends without anything. So thank you so much, guys. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sindeka. Please don't go, because at the end of this, we will be asking questions. And I know our colleagues will have some questions. There's already comments that are coming through. We're going to have another speaker right now, but thank you very much for sharing your presentation.
Thank you.
Okay, moving right along, what a powerful story. And I think what I can highlight is the beautiful why. Why are you starting it? Mr. Siva Simon is going to be presenting now. He is a lecturer at the University of Limpopo with a diverse background in the field of information and heritage. His professional journey spans several institutions, including the University of Limpopo Library, Limpopo Professional Archives, Advertech Group, Capricorn High School, and the Department of Sports and Arts and Culture. In addition to his role, he's also a part-time facilitator, passionately contributing to skills and development, knowledge sharing. And he is the Nevada Emerging Librarian for 2023. And this morning, he's going to be sharing practical steps of a book club for municipal libraries. Mr. Leseba, you can take the stage, sir.
Good morning, colleagues. Can you all hear me?
Okay, you sound far, but we can hear you. Maybe if you can just adjust your audio a little, but we can hear you.
Okay, let me do this. How about now?
Okay, you can continue. I'll just let you know how it goes.
I'm the audio is fine.
Okay, you really do sound very far. Okay, while Mr. Leseba is still adjusting his microphone, I just want to say to the colleagues that joined later, thank you very much for joining us. There will be a recording that will be made available on the Liasa YouTube channel, and you can get it on the Liasa News to catch the full presentation of the first speaker. And of course, now, Mr. Leseba, I hope that your microphone is sorted now.
Yeah, I guess now everybody can hear me. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Kolelwa. I also want to thank Sindega. Sindega, you are doing excellent for your community, and well done. So I'm not gonna take long. My name is Mujapilo Lisiwa Simon. I will be presenting this in this webinar. So the title of my presentation is Making Our Communities a Reading Community. So my focus will be on the community libraries. It can be the municipal libraries or the departmental libraries or a special NPO which works very close with the. Are you guys able to see my presentation before I go any further?
Yes, we are.
Okay, thank you so much. So, uh, before we start, I wanted us to talk about the access to libraries, which is the key in this presentation. So in South Africa, 58% of the people have access to community libraries. So the community libraries that we have in our community, I think those who we have those community libraries in our communities, we are very much privileged because only 58% have those libraries. And in light of this, the findings by the National Reading Barometer revealed that in Northern Cape, there is one library per 5,600 people. And in the same line, as we compare it with the provinces such as Limpopo, an average of 56,000 people can be served by a single library. So can you see the difference? So what we are trying to do is that we are actually trying to make use of our libraries so that people are able to use our libraries. They are able to form book clubs. They are able to participate even in competitions. So community libraries remain important place for reading materials, but are still not accessible to all, and many users don't borrow books. So I believe there are librarians, more especially the community librarians, in this webinar. So I will be talking about how do we formulate a book club for 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 the library. So how do we start a book club? I know in most community libraries we go to conduct outreach programs whereby we are actually advertising our services to the communities, whereby we are actually telling them what we are offering, because most people they don't know what we are offering in our libraries. So sorry. The first step to establish a working book club is to recruit members. So when we go out to the communities, when we start to engage with those community members, we must make sure that we recruit members, those who will form part of our community life, of our community book club. And number two, we identify our aim. So the moment you recruit people to come and join your book club, the one that belongs to the library, we must also identify our aim to say what is it that we will be doing in this community book club. So it could be we are in most cases community book clubs we are just actually reading for enjoyment. We don't necessarily read for a specific subject or for a specific module, but we are actually reading for enjoyment. It could be a fiction or non-fiction a book club. So in most cases, before we identify our aim, we must also make sure that our aim aligns very well with the collection development that we conducted for that library. For example, if you come from a community whereby the primary role is sport, then your book club can be tailored into the sporting reading things, or the agricultural part, or the politics. You know, there are some communities whereby they are very rich when it comes to politics. So you can avail political books so that they can come and engage with literature. And then another thing, you must identify a meeting time and place. So this is important because the moment you draft a calendar, let's say, for example, you are saying we're going to meet every day at 3 o'clock. So all the people who form part of the book club, they know that 3 o'clock we are meeting in this library. So you arrange the collection that you want us to read, the collection for all the book club members. To say, for example, if today you will be discussing about the current affairs, then you can organize your magazines, you can go through your info files so that you will be engaging on the current affairs. And then as the book club is running, you must also do what? Develop a code of conduct. How are we going to run this book club? You develop a code of conduct so that everybody now knows that as I'm part of this book club, this is our code of conduct. We adhere to the rules. We are meeting at this time. We are meeting at this location. So we also plan for monthly or weekly targets. A book club without targets, it's likely to fall apart. But the moment you have targets to say, this month we are reading these books. This is our target. After reading that, then we come as a group and then we start to engage on our target. We start to check where we can improve. Those who are still lacking, those whom we can still assist in improving that. And then after that, we just have fun. We discuss that which we are doing within our book club. And remember, within the book club, you can still have other categories. You can still have your debate, you can have your reading, you can have your spelling bee, you can have there are so many categories that you can develop within your book club. So you must make sure that you divide people according to their age, because you cannot say maybe you have toddlers and adults, because book clubs are not limited when it comes to age. And then you put toddlers there, then you organize the collection for toddlers, and then you also have a collection for the adults, and then they participate. You can say, let's say, for example, you are having maybe more like a competition within your book club, to say now we will be having toddlers who will be participating with those in primary, for example. Then you work around those things. And then you also identify the stakeholders or the friends of the library. The first people that you must make sure that you engage well with them is the ward committee. Because remember, the ward committee in most is the eyes and the ears of the ward councillor. So the moment you establish a good working relationship with the ward committee, then you are able to know the community information needs. The ward committee will also present your needs to the ward councillor, who is the member of the council of the municipality that you are operating in. So you are likely to win, because the ward committee is the one who knows the community way much better than you. You are employed in that community library, and then now you are working with that ward committee. So working with the ward committee improves the chances of the book club growing. The community NPOs. So in most cases, in most communities, we have the NPOs that their main or their primary role is to eradicate illiteracy in the community. So as the librarian within that community, you must make sure that you work very close with those people. And again, we have organizations such as Awonalibali, organizations such as Room to Read. So you must work with them so that when maybe, let's say, for example, you need books, you need books for a specific group, then you can contact your Nalibali to say, we are in need of this kind of books. And usually Nalibali, they donate books, as well as the National Library of South Africa. Within the National Library of South Africa, there is a unit called Center for the Books. You liaise with them, they also donate books for the community book clubs. We also have schools. Remember, from schools, that's where we get book club members. Majority of these people who are interested in participating in book clubs are from schools. When we conduct our book club, when we conduct our community outreach, we usually go to schools, we usually go to the imbizos, we usually go to the community meetings. And when we are at schools, that's where we start to recruit those who are interested in participating in our book club. And then we develop a book club, and then we know that the book club now belongs to the people. those people. As a librarian, you shouldn't maybe, let's say, for example, you say, or control that book club. It should belong to them. Let them decide as a team to say, this is how we want to run this book club, because we don't want to make it sound like a formal learning, but we want to make it more enjoyable. And another thing, we have the competitions. You can organize the local competitions, the district competitions. Suppose, let's say, for example, you know that your municipality is having maybe 4 libraries, and then you can organize the competitions within that municipality to say library A will be competing with library B. And then they go there, they do their spelling bee, they do their debate, they do their book reviews, they are reading. So they compete among themselves within the very same municipality. Or you can organize the district competition, whereby you will be competing at the district level. And also the provincial competitions. You can still liaise with your Department of Sports, Arts and Culture, and then you organize the provincial competitions, whereby all these districts within the province, they can now compete among themselves. We also have the national competition, which I know is Fundam Zanzi. So after these competitions, they can still go to the national competitions. At the national competitions, they will be competing with everybody in South Africa. So thank you so much. I believe I'm still within time. Thank you, Tolera. Over to you.
Yes, you are still within time. Wow, what a practical way of doing it. I think Mr. Sawa just like outlined how we can do it. Firstly, we started with why are we doing it when Sindeka was presenting. And then we went to the practical steps. So we will be taking questions and comments. So Sindeka and Mr. Mujapilu, I hope that you are ready for the questions. I just want to give the comment. I see that Refilo Zim says that I love that you mentioned that reading is everywhere. It truly is. Thank you very much for highlighting the importance of reading, Sindeka. And she says that the work that you are doing is incredible. So keep it up. And she also highlights that you are very passionate about the work that you do. And that is very special on the sector. So just taking questions now. Sindeka, I want to know if there are any testimonials that have come from the book club, maybe parents or even the learners themselves.
Hi. Yes, I've had quite a few of those. I had a learner. He was struggling to read, and then last year he received a certificate as the best reading learner at school. And I remember his mom came to me and she bought me a 2-liter Coke. I'll never forget that. And yeah, that was one of my highlights. And then we also have a student who is dyslexic, and he was struggling to just to write the normal alphabets, vowels. He was struggling with, when you're dyslexic, usually you can't, your words are usually turned upside down. The letters are usually, so we were sitting, like I would sit with them like all the time, and I say you have to put you have to do a circle. Once you do a circle, then this way, not on the left side but on your right side. It's still a work in progress with them, because remember, another thing, I'm not a qualified teacher, so I take courses here and there that are free for anyone who wants to teach children how to read or how to write. So those are some of the biggest things that have really affirmed the work that we do and I try to do with the book club.
Wow, thank you. There's another comment that was saying, well done, Sindek. I think this one is coming from Tandek, and she says, keep it up, the great work. And I think people are just saying thank you for the great work that you are doing, and you're really passionate about what you do. I also just want to ask, because I know that you are working alone. It is a passion project, but have you considered working with the community library that you have, if you do have it there? Yeah.
So unfortunately, the library that's close to where I conduct the book club was vandalized during a protest that happened in Philip. It has something to do with the taxes, and then they vandalized the library, they took everything, and then because we had a working relationship where I would go there and ask for books if I didn't have a certain book, and after that there was nothing that I could do because the another library is very far from where we are. And what I've tried to do because we do not have a permanent space that we call our own, I've tried to reach out to certain schools. There's one high school that is close to us, and I spoke with the principal. I followed everything that he said I must do to actually get somebody to get a permanent space there. And yeah, I haven't heard from him. Like, there's so many things that I've done to get the book club, because my plan was to get the book club, the kids book club there, and then start a book club for the children, the high school students, because I had a plan how it's gonna be a working relationship with the school. But it's still like a struggle to get people to assist here and there.
Mm. Yeah, I think this calls for a greater work to us, the librarians, on advocating for our libraries. And this is just a sad story to hear from Felipe of what happened to the community library there. But it is also great to see that there are people like Sindek Amandoyi who's doing great work in making sure that they continue the work of literacy and advocating for the love of reading in that area. Thank you very much, Sindeka, for your story and for sharing. Just now, moving to Mr. Mujapilu, there is a question that comes from Mr. Mtandazo, who says, are there any guidelines or code of conduct that the book club needs to adhere to? Please share if there are any.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much for that question. I will be talking from experience. You know, we once had a case where I was running a book club, and then we selected a topic, and that topic was somehow offensive to others. We were actually talking about the LGBTQI community, the gays and the lesbians community. So it was actually offensive to other members, and I wasn't aware, to be honest. And then one of the book club member came to my office to say, I don't usually want to talk about this because of my situation. And then he explained his situation to me. And then that's when I realized that when you develop a book club, you must make sure that some topics, before you present them to the book club members, you must actually try to make them as neutral as possible, so that they are not offensive, or they are not offensive in their nature. So those are some of the guidelines that we must adhere to ensure that we make our book clubs as fun as possible, but we don't offend anyone. And another thing, what I noticed is that some people, they just want to be part of the book club. They have passion for book club, but when it comes to reading, they are still struggling when it comes to reading, more especially when they are reading in their mother tongue. So when you develop a code of conduct, you must make sure that we help one another in our book club, so that we move with the same flow, we move in the same lane, we help each other, so that at the end of the day we achieve as a book club. Because remember, if there's one representative from our book club who will be representing us at the national level, they will not be calling that person to say, Mujapelo Simon will be will be rendering a particular, competing in a particular category. But we are actually saying the book club A will be participating in that category. So I think maybe that answers your question.
I think it does. Mr. Mtandas will tell us if he needs any clarity further. I think you've just explained it so well. And I think it is also important for the team to be the one deciding what is acceptable for this book club, and what might be applicable for one book club might not be applicable to another book club. So I thank you very much, Mr. Mujapilu, for answering that question. And thank you, Mr. Mtandaza, for also sharing that question. And I think another thing that I want to say, that sometimes when you get into a book club, let's say it's the book club is tea and book club. I'm just making an example. So we read, and then we also have tea at the end. But then now people will be coming for the tea and they're not really coming for the reading. And I think we really have to make sure that it is all about books. In as much it is a social event, it is about reading and it is all about books. But I also love the work that Usindeka is doing. It also encompasses play because she's dealing with little children. So there has to be that element of playing, but they are also reading. And also Mr. Simon, as he was saying, that it has to be fun. Another one that is coming in, I think this one is directed to Sindeka. How far are you from Supumelele Secondary School so that I may connect with you? Or to Mr. Lindani, he's also a book club coordinator at the school. So I think, Sindeka, another question would be, where can people get you and where can they follow your work? Because I think you are doing a very great work and maybe there's somebody who is here and they would want to work with you. Okay, I don't.
Oh yeah, I am. Yeah, sorry. I'm not sure where Sopumelele is, but for the fact that I don't know where it is, we must be a bit further from it. But we do have a Instagram page, Kosi Book Club. We are also on TikTok, Kosi Book Club. We also have a email address, which is kosibookclub@gmail.com. And also, yeah, if you want to reach out to us or say anything, you can just find us on social media and also on our email.
Thank you very much for providing those details. I don't know if colleagues, there are any questions or comment. We're also getting a comment to say that this is a very informative webinar. Thank you very much.
There's a hand from Belinda May.
Okay, Ms. Belinda, you can go ahead.
Hi, good morning. I'm Belinda May from Overstray Municipality, Houston Library. Thank you very much for the information and presentations. This is especially for Sindeka with regards to the children's book club. From my understanding, I always understand the book club is where you get a specific title and everyone reads the book and then you come and share and whatever around the book club. But it's very interesting to know what you are doing, especially with the children's book club, because we are running an after school program, but we call it a help to read program where we assist learners from grade 1 to grade 4 that struggle to read. So they take out books in the library, they start reading, and then we assist them where they struggle to read. So in terms of a children's book club, do you also have it like when in comparison with the adult book club where each one had the same title, read it, and then come and share the book review in terms of a children's book club? Or is it just the assist with reading and to encourage a love for reading for the children?
Thank you for the question. So what we usually have one book that we are reading in the book club, but children also have their own personal books that they take home and read at home. So what we do when they take the book home, we say you must come back and summarize the story for the class. So that's how it is. We have one book where everybody reads. I read for them, and then we do like an activity, whether it's spelling, whether it's summary about the book, or even drawing the characters in the book that we are currently reading at the book club. We always have a current read that is happening in the book club, and then children have books that they take home. And then when you take that book home, you must always come back to the book club and summarize the book for us. Tell us about the book that you've been reading. What do you like about the book? What's interesting about the book? What did you learn? If you were the character, what would you do different? Like things like that.
Thank you so much. That sounds very interesting. And in terms of a normal, let's say, adult book club, for this is now for everyone that's attending here. I know the challenge is normally to get a certain amount of books of the same title. How do you do that? Those who are running book clubs in their libraries or communities, getting a few books of the same titles, because that is normally a challenge.
Okay, I will allow somebody that is in a book club or has experience of a book club to answer that, just because with my experience it would be different. Or is there somebody that wants to answer that question? Or I thought I heard somebody speaking. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Simon, yes.
Okay. I wanted to attempt to answer that because remember the moment, let's say for example, you only have two books for the same title, né? Then that's where you can divide your book club members into groups or into categories to say if you are interested in this only in only these two books, then you can say these two people will be reading these books, and then after reading them, you can still use them for book reviews. You can still pick some letters from it. Then you choose uh, uh, you also participate in the spelling bee using the very same books. Or alternative, you can still write to these organizations, the National Library, the Nalibali, the Room to Read, requesting more books from from them. Or alternatively, you can still perform the interlibrary loan whereby you can, within your municipality, you can request the books of the same title from your nearest library so that you can maybe have more collection of those books. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Simon. I think you answered it so well. Actually, there was a case of people copying a book for the book club, and that turned into a very big case because of copyright laws. And speaking about copyright, we have a copyright webinar that is coming up on the 16th of April. So I think for anyone that is interested, you might want to register. So please be on the lookout for that one. It will be on the Liasa website, so where you can register. So if there's no questions, okay, Sindaka, I would like to, could you please type on the chat your email address for anyone who would want to be in contact with you. And now I will hand over to Mr. Simon, who is going to be doing the closing for us.
Okay, colleagues, thank you so much for honoring our invitation. I know some of you could have been working, could have been somewhere, but you honored this invitation, and I want to appreciate you. Please be on the lookout for our next upcoming events, the webinars, the seminars that we'll be conducting. So I will be working with Kolelas throughout the year. We are the Imagine Librarian platform. We are also working with the Library Information Association of South Africa, which is commonly known as LIASA. So please be on the lookout for other events, and your support is very much valuable. Please continue to support the Imagine Librarian, and also let's do well for our communities. So thank you so much for the informative session. Thank you.